Hice Productions. Please first hit the likes and subscribe down below in your right hand corner. Muchly appreciate that. I really could use your subscriptions, and it would help the community grow a lot. Anyway, this is to review last night's game, which it's only about an hour and a half, 2 hours after, but unfortunately it's the 14th, and happy Valentine's to the fans out there. Okay, this is to review the game of the Ducks coming into Montreal, and you were expecting, there to be some type of response after the way they played against the Blues on the weekend. Well, I have to say, quite a response. The Montreal came out there and they came out swinging right away. Quite a good game. They played as a team. For Primeau to be able to get a shutout off 13 shots, that's quite remarkable. So the team really had it together. Anaheim kind of looked like us on nights that we, like St. Louis. But it got pretty chippy. So we're going to go through the stats. Quite a good game, like I say. And there's a lot of things to talk about. We'll go through the stats first. All right, first period, there was no score. Second period, Montreal scores 3 goals, none for Anaheim. And the third period, we get 2 goals, none for Anaheim. Final score, 5-0 Habs. Quite a surprise. And Primeau was the goaltender for us. He gets his first shutout, and Dostal was the goaltender for Anaheim. And you couldn't blame this game on Dostal whatsoever, because he had a half-decent game, but his team defensively wasn't there, and even goal scoring, of course, they got blanked. So they didn't support him very well. Game-winning goal was scored by Jake Evans. Nice to see Jake get a goal tonight. It's only his third of the season, but he works hard, and good to see him get it. So with the storyline, Nick Suzuki had 2 goals and an assist, and the Montreal Canadiens cruised to a 5-0 victory over Anaheim Tuesday night. The red hot Suzuki extended his point streak to a career high of 8 games, producing 13 points in that span, and it's up to 51 in 53 outings this season. Caden Primeau faced little action, and really you were waiting for a soft one to go in because he wasn't tested, especially in that first period. It was so woof. Then again, 13 shots is a joke. So he better take advantage of that, because you're not going to see that happen too often. So 13 shots in the first start since January 20th, as Montreal earned its first shutout of the season. Uri Slavkovsky also connected with Suzuki all night. Had a goal and 2 assists for the first 3-point game of his career. He had a great game. So did Suzuki. Jake Evans and Brandon Gignac with his first goal. It was nice to see the kid get a goal. Well, I shouldn't say kid, just being brought up from Laval. A guy in his shoes. Good to see that happen. Nice storyline. Also scored for the Canadiens. Anyway, Lucas Dostal stopped 33 shots. That's pretty darn good. So he got bombarded for Anaheim, which shut out for the 6th time this season. Evans scored the first goal at 1:43 into the second, and with his 3rd goal of the season, and first in 25 games, beating Dostal with a backhand after a give-and-go play with Tanner Pearson. Beautiful passing play up the ice that was. And nice that he outweighted Dostal and put the backhand on. Suzuki doubled the lead at 9:37 to extend his point streak. Slavkovsky patiently skated around the Ducks defenseman Pavel Mintyukov on the break before laying a pinpoint pass to Suzuki, who tipped it in. There was mustard on that pass. pass. All Suzuki had to do was tip that in. It was a beautiful pass. Something going. They got a good little connection going on there. The two forwards connected again later in the period, this time on the power play, as Suzuki hammered home a cross-ice pass. Or actually, it should be, it should be Slavkovsky hammered home. No, Suzuki hammered home a cross-ice pass. Suzuki into the open net. That doesn't make sense. Whoever wrote that, it's actually, I believe, Slavkovsky who scored. No, it was Suzuki. A nice cross-ice pass and from Slavkovsky. That's where they made their mistake. They got Suzuki there twice and don't have bad writing for Sportsnet. Terrible. In full control, the Canadians led shots by a whopping 29-9 after 40 minutes. That's not good. And added another power play marker at 7:26 of the third. This time Suzuki fed Slav for the 11th goal of his campaign, and Gignac, 26, scored his first goal on a 2-0 to make it 5-0 with under 3 minutes left. Montreal won the game handily, but did not before tempers flared as players from both teams dropped the gloves in the final minutes. Gouli avoids injury. Canadians avoided some more bad injuries. News as defenseman Caden Gouli dressed Tuesday night's game after leaving Sunday's game due to an injury to the St. Louis Blues in pain after a hit from Marco Scandella. Defenseman Arber Xhekaj re-entered the Canadiens lineup for Jordan Harris, who's listed day-to-day with an upper body injury system, which I've been saying all along. It's got to be a concussion against the Blues. Canadiens' next game will be Thursday against the Rangers. That should be not a good. That's not a good team for us to be running into. That's where I think the tide's going to turn against us in that one. All right. So first 3 stars: Nick Suzuki, 2 goals, 1 assist for a +1. Juraj Slavkovsky, 1 goal, 2 assists for a +1. Caden Primeau, 13 saves. 13 saves for a shutout. Okay, so in period 2, there was no scoring in period 1. 1:43 in, Jake Evans assisted by Tanner Pearson and Josh Anderson. 9:37, Nick Suzuki assisted by that nice hard pass, assisted by Slavkovsky and Jaden Struble. At 17 minutes, Nick Suzuki got it on the power play, assisted by Slav with a nice cross-ice pass that seam pass that Slavkovsky gave Suzuki, and assisted by Newhook on the power play. Third period, at 7:26, Juraj Slavkovsky scores, assisted by Suzuki and Cole Caulfield on the power play. 17:15, Brandon Gignac scores his first goal in the NHL. Nice to see. Assisted by Caden Gouli, and they went up on a 2-on-1, I believe it was, and a nice passing play for Gouli to Gignac in the end. So final shots, this was pretty bad on Anaheim's part. 38-13 for the Habs. Hits, 22-18 for Anaheim. Faceoffs won, 25-26. That was pretty close. Power plays, this was a big difference. 0-3 for Anaheim, 2-6 for Montreal. Penalty minutes, 29 for Anaheim, 33 for the Habs. Giveaways, 11 for Anaheim, 3 for the Habs. Takeaways, 1 for Anaheim, 6 for the Habs. Blocked shots, again, we got outdone in this, which is not, that's been a couple games now, 16-12. And penalty summary, 18 seconds into the game, Mason McTavish takes a 2 minute for holding Suzuki. At 3:36 of the first period, Caden Gouli gets 2 minutes for holding. 12:44, Max Jones, 2 minutes for slashing. Second period, 6:35 into it. Leo Carlson, 2 minutes for a high stick. 10:13 of the second. Ross Johnson, 5 minutes for fighting against Arbor Jacki at 10:13. Each getting 5 minutes. Uh, kind of a, it was almost an even keel fight. Nothing spectacular. But that seemed to get the crowd going. I think Johnson was trying to get his team going, but he didn't win the fight. I don't think either of them won the fight. I think it was kind of a draw. 15:47, Jackson Lacombe. 2 minutes for a delay of game where he shot it over the boards trying to clear it. And 1943, Jonathan Kovacevic, 2 minutes for holding. Third period came. Cam Fowler, 6:32, 2 minutes for hooking. 10:19 into the third. Max Jones, 2 minutes for tripping. 17:37. This is where things started getting real chippy. Jonathan Kovacevic, 5 minutes for fighting against Sam Carrick, and he put the boots to Carrick. So that was hands down Kovacevic victory. 17:37, 2 minutes for Kovacevic got the extra for roughing. Extra 2 minutes on that. So at 19:02, Adam Henrique gets 5 minutes for fighting. At 19:02, he fought Caden Gooley, who gave Henrique the boots and hands down won that fight. Then at 20 minutes, Ross Johnson, 20, that's 20, 2 minutes for roughing. Jaden Struble, 20 minutes, 2 minutes for cross-check. Jaden Struble, 10 minutes for game misconduct. Wow, it's because those two tangled up at the end, Ross Johnson and Struble. There was a bit of a scrum at the end of the game. So that was the way that game ended. So it was nice to see that Montreal didn't put Nick Suzuki and Slavkovsky and Caulfield on as in late points of the third as it was winding down and getting very chippy. Marty played it very smart and put out like Jacki, Struble, kept those guys like that, Kovacevic and Pizzetta. They seen a fair amount of ice time towards that point as things kind of got mucky. But overall, this game was a good statement. Nothing to, for Habs fan to go ballistic on. I mean, Anaheim's a bad team. They're in the same mode we're in. I think, I heard, you listen to a lot of write-ups on the teams and, as saying Anaheim has a solid defense. I think they could use a defenseman or two to upgrade that defense, to be honest, even if they got young ones like from us where trades made, because I don't think have the depth talent-wise on D that we do. So I think they could do themselves a favor when you continually hearing that they wouldn't trade with Montreal, for this rumor that that trade. So with that being said, for Trevor Zegras, that as rumors have been saying. So I kind of think that it would help them to look at a couple of Montreal's defensemen since we have so many of them. Because I do think they're a little weaker there, and it showed tonight. But anyway, they're definitely one of the few teams we're not going to catch in the tankathon whatsoever. They're going to be one of the bottom feeders, no doubt about it, between Chicago, San Jose, and Anaheim. No doubt in my mind are going to be bottom feeders, the top three teams in that draft. So with that being said, overall good game, really good, solid game from everybody. Everybody was kind of on point tonight. It also helped that Anaheim was not on point tonight. You didn't get they just were not with it, and defensively, they made quite a few errors, but Montreal transitioned very well from the neutral zone, and they weren't having too big of a problem for the most part getting it out of their own end tonight. Um, Played their positions, I think, a little better, and the defensemen really all had a good game, I have to say. Um, you didn't see glaring mistakes from any of the defense, which was a nice change. Jack I looked at, all right. Struble looked all right. Gooley looked good. Gooley and Matheson. Matheson, definitely number one defenseman at, especially the way he carries it from his own end and up the ice. He's got that capability of setting up plays, and that's his strength. Whereas I think they made also a wise choice in penalty kills. I noticed they stopped putting Savard and Matheson out all the time, or when they did put Matheson, they put him with Kovacevic or Caden Gooley, that type of thing. They were alternating a bit, and I think that was a wise move to break up Savard and Matheson on the penalty kill, and that's what they did. So there were some nice switcheroos. Uh, Overall, like I say, that we're really peaking. Like Slavkovsky had a phenomenal game. Suzuki had a great game, phenomenal as well. Caulfield did too, even though he didn't produce many points, maybe one. Uh, that line one is really clicking, and there's definitely something really going on between with Nick and Slav. They're really connecting with each other quite a bit, special connection. So I like that line one. That's really the only consistent line we have, and the rest of them not so much, especially after losing Monahan. But a good performance overall. Liking the way Geniac looks. Evans played strong. Um, Pearson had a good game. The whole team really played quite well. The old Armia had a good game. Everybody pretty much had a half decent game from the Habs. So, but I mean, Dynamite, you can very clearly see that Slab's game is only improving, and wait till he hits. Who knows where his ceiling is? That's going to be quite something. Um, and if we're stuck with that being our first line, if we can at least match it and have at least two second lines, like, strength wise, and then two third lines, wouldn't be so bad. But you can't classify that as a first line. It is right now. That's the best we have. But I don't know. But once we are set up properly, because I think they're a true second line. But Montreal may decide that that's their first line in their system, which is a second line, and maybe they'll build two second lines. I don't know. But a positive outlook for their future. Great job with Slav and Suzuki. Really just connecting with each other all night long. Looked good together. And we did okay on the power play for a change, which was nice to see. We did well on the penalty kill. So with that being said, that was it. Just really excited with what I've seen from Slav. And yes, I was one of those people who thought he probably needed a stint like the way he was last year. Last year, I think he should have been in Laval. But maybe, with what they invested in him, it's actually looking like it actually paid off that he's working with Marty. So with that being said, great job with those guys, and who knows who's going to be in the net against New York. I don't I pity whoever's going to be the goalie chosen. I guess that's a loss, and it's probably fair to say it's going to be a pretty high score for the opponent, the Rangers. So with that being said, where's the puck drop first? Thank you for following. Tell your friends and family. Please hit the likes and subscribe. I really need you to do that. I appreciate it big time. And leave a comment. Tell me what you thought of the game. I thought this was a good response after the pathetic game we had in St. Louis. But we have to remember this: we just beat a bottom feeder. So, and that's truly what it was. but a good solid game. Just nice to see the effort was there with the Habs. So with that being said, I want to thank you for joining me, and we will catch you in the review against the New York Rangers, and we shall see what happens. God bless.